Hello, viewers out there. Thank you for joining us today on Galaxy Today Live on Galaxy TV. And my name remains Olusegun Olabode Ajakai. It's such a great honor and a pleasure to have you all join us for us to share insights around technology, innovations, around discussions or topics that speaks to our country, Nigeria, and also for, fit for Africa, because we believe that Africans and our, people, brothers and sisters are out there in diaspora listening to us and also getting to know some insights. And interestingly, today's topic will be centered around how technology can act as a catalyst or as an enabler for our society in nation building. Interestingly, when we talk about nation building, we only look at it in directive or trajectory around just leadership, capacity around, putting up policies that speaks to the populace. But the perspective I want to discuss today is about how can technology help us drive productivity within either the public sector or across the government parastatals. Either you're working in any of the ministries or any of the MDAs or any of the government agencies. How can technology help you become more productive as a government worker? When we talk about technology as an enabler in nation building, we're not just talking about how can technology help you from a bigger perspective. I'm looking at it from how do you use technology to drive your day-to-day activities while at work. You agree with me that in most public organizations, you come to realize that either there is this person who has probably worked there for 20 years and behind him sits a very, very large cabinet. And in that cabinet are documents that dates as far back as 1962. Imagine you have those documents sitting at the back of your office, and what if there's a fire incident? What if there is a major, probably an outbreak that you don't have power to manage it. Imagine it's even probably a water or there's an heavy downpour and probably something happens and it affects all the documents you have in your offices. How can you use technology to make sure that all your documents, all what you have within your organization, within your office or your desk can be well secured either on your laptop or on the cloud or in a well secured environment? And that is why we need to consider how technology can help drive up productivity, how technology can help you protect your documents, encrypt your documents in a much more safe and secured environment. I'll paint a particular picture. Imagine in your office, early in the morning, you have the cleaners probably walk into your office. Maybe before you resume the work in the morning, you have cleaners coming to clean your office and make sure that your office is clean and well kept, or your secretary. How well secured are those documents that sit in your office or in your cabinet? A situation whereby anyone can just come in, Tom, Dick, and Harry, who has access to your office, can just walk into your office and access some very confidential, highly confidential documents. How will you feel when people have access to your personal data? And I strongly believe people who work within the public sector, now I must commend what the government is doing even with the immigration now. We can see some high level of automation going on, high level of revamping going on. But we need to drive it down to all sectors, down to the Ministry of Works, the Ministry of Housing, all parastatals across board. Enough is enough for us, visiting some offices that we see a cabinet that is, or a shelf where documents that are confidential are sitting on. Gone are the days where we see that. Government needs to take conscious effort around making sure that there are policies that speaks to how people keep documents, how people preserve documents. And I'm talking about documents that probably sit like outdated, even documents that are quite old. How often do we clean up our data? I can bet it that most organizations, especially within the public sector, have documents that are not even clean, have data that are not even clean. So my challenge right now to all public office holder, clean up your data, clean up your desk, clean up your shelf. That cabinet that sits, that has been there for over 50, 60 years, I'm just using that word, but let's even say 5-10 years, that has some documents that are just sitting there. Let's try to digitize them. And at the end of the day, it helps us have a much more consolidated way of accessing our data. And that is why when Oga is not around, there are some documents that cannot be approved. There are some approvals that cannot be gotten because Oga needs to resume 2 weeks or 3 weeks down the line before he gets to approve that document. Can we find ways around automating some processes? Like I said, right, leveraging on technology helps you to, it's not just as a tool for you to probably use for your day-to-day activity. It's a means of empowering you as well to become more productive and help you scale as an individual. Because you have all your gadgets at your beck and call. Either you're in transit, probably you're going for an international trip. From the comfort of your device, you can make those approvals happen. From the comfort of your laptop, you can access your document from anywhere you are. So this is my challenge to all public office holders. Let's try to automate ourselves. And this is another feedback to all public office holders as well too. Enough is enough. When you share your call card or your business card, and on that call card or business card, I'm seeing your Gmail account. Public office holders, governors, senators, House of Rep officials, enough is enough seeing your Gmail account on your official business card. We need to do better as a country. We need to do better as public office holders. Let's endeavor to make sure that we harness technology, we empower ourselves, empower those that report to us to utilize this technology to their advantage. And at the end of the day, I believe we'll have a safe Nigeria, a better economy, and a well-optimized environment that is fit for us and for a much more sustainable environment, because we need to understand that when we leave that office, we need to also create precedents for those coming behind us. I believe you've been able to enjoy and understand where I'm coming from, and also pick 1 or 2 tips that can help you improve as an individual. Feel free to drop your comments and contribution and share some insights around how technology has helped you in your work. I remain Olusegun Olabode Ajakai. Feel free to follow us across our social media channels and platforms at Galaxy TV and also at Nigeria Today Live. And also feel free to follow me on my social media handles on TikTok, on LinkedIn at Olusegun Olabode Ajakai, and on TikTok at I Am Body of Lagos. We look forward to seeing your comments and contributions. Stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you.